Okay, go ahead. Oh my gosh, hi. How are you? I can't believe it's soccer season already. That is crazy. I feel like the summer just like zipped right by. Like it's done and over with. Do you guys get up to anything fun? I feel like I blinked and it was done. But I did manage to do so much reading last month, like in August. I was so surprised with how much I was able to read. I ended up reading 7 books, which I don't know where I squeezed that all in. But you know how I was saying I was feeling a bit burnt out and everything? Well, I read The Burnout Doctor by Dr. Claire Ashley, and it was interesting. I feel like if I had, I don't know, read it, I could have been a bit more into it, but I thought it was going to be helpful. And it was. Like, it wasn't not helpful. It was just that I don't think I'm in a place to actually utilize all of the information. Plus, it had workbook bits to it, and I was listening to it on audio, so I don't think that I really was able to interact with it as much because of that, because I listened to it and I was kind of like distracted while I was listening to it. But I think if I were to buy an actual physical copy of it and actually follow it instead of just listening to it passively in the background, I think I could actually find some benefit from it, honestly. But it was crazy. Like, it's been a crazy summer for like nonfiction for some reason. I did like a lot of nonfiction this last month. So I also listened to The Age of Magical Overthinking, Notes on Modern Irrationality by Amanda Montell. And yeah, I know I should put her on a leash, but she's probably fine. She probably won't go into the field. And I did like that. I think I'm trying to like take a bit more of like time and reflect on, I don't know, just more of what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, why am I doing these things? Like, how is social media affecting this? And I think this book kind of touched on it, but again, I listened to it, so it was hard to focus and really get a lot from the text. But I did like it. She kind of mixed in some of her own antidotes when it comes to how we kind of trick our brains sometimes, and how we'll do things like confirmation bias, for example. That sort of like vein of thinking. And yeah, I mean, it was fine. I wouldn't not recommend it if you're into that sort of thing. If you like a nonfiction, thinking about the brain, if you don't mind a little integration of personal anecdotes, then yeah, for sure. And the cover was gorgeous. I know you shouldn't like pick books because of the cover, but sometimes I'm going to. I had actually read about that book because it got referenced in a different book that I had gotten from the library that I was so looking forward to, and I just had to get it. It is something that absolutely fascinates me, like the kind of the subject of it. It was called Algospeak, How Social Media is Transforming the Future of Language by Adam Aleksic. You're gonna have to check my pronunciation on that. That's bad. But I love that kind of stuff. Like, it's talking about, first of all, the evolution of language, which I love talking about the evolution of language. Like, how did we get here? It's always changing. It's like it's living. It's just like a living thing that we're all kind of messing with. And I kind of looked at how social media is kind of touching our language and what happens when online speaking, for example, like they talked about this in the text a little bit, was how we start using the word unalive, and how it ended up in like a curated museum to describe someone committing suicide. It kind of caused an issue because it's, you know, internet speak. So they were like, wait, why is this here? So it was just a fun book. And I just love stuff like that, like etymology of words. It's always so fascinating to me. And I'm sure this book is going to be outdated in, hey, sit down, please. Thank you. I think the book itself might be outdated in, I don't know, like a year or two, just the things that it mentioned. But it also talked about appropriating and how we pick the words that we pick, and from what groups are we grabbing these terms from, and how we use language to identify, you know, people of the same, like someone on the in crowd. Oh my gosh. I've been so sniffy. I don't know what is going on. I think it's like allergies or something. I swear. Also that rain that came through the other day killed my allergies. Like I'm hurting. What have you been reading? Like what genre are you like sticking to right now? Because I can't honestly believe how much nonfiction I read last month. It was a surprise to me. But I mean, I did read some other things. I did dip into my romances. I did dip into the fantasy stuff. I ended up reading a debut novel called The Love Raffle by Brittany Roberts. And it was definitely a debut novel. I wanted to finish it because she's a local author and I just really wanted to get through it. I liked the story aspect of it. I mean, if you're looking for an easy read, I mean, for sure, give this a little look. But I think that as far as the writing, like the technical writing of it goes, there's a lot to be improved on. But I ended up reading that it's on Kindle Unlimited if you have Kindle Unlimited. But she is an indie author, so the book might be a little difficult to find unless you look for it on Amazon. So if you're looking to take a look. I also read the second book in the Trial of the Sun Queen series. I don't know how many books are there, 4, 5, I think. So that's The Rule of the Aurora King by, who is it? Nisha J. Tuli. Yeah, so this is the second book. And it drug on, in my opinion. It wasn't, like, it's fine. It's fine. If you're looking for like a quick romantasy, I think Trial of the Sun Queen is definitely that. But the second one kind of just like drug on for my taste. And I just wanted to get to the next point. I will read the next book. Like I would like to finish the series. I think it's on an interesting track. But yeah, the second one just didn't really hit for me. Molly, here. Sit. Oh dear. You're knocking my water over for. Yeah, she's a good girl. Aren't you a good girl? But I have finally completed my reading of the Emily Henry contemporary romance books. I've read them all this year. So the last one I just finished was Beach Read. So grab that from the library as well. And it was... Did I like it? I was not in love with the love interest's name. I did not like him being called Gus. I don't know why. Her name's January and his name is Gus, and I like the names just didn't quite hit for me. But I think overall their interactions was nice. I did like their relationship. I think I need to actually take a think, like sit down and think about which Emily Henry books I like the most and like actually do a full ranking and everything, just because I've read them all in this past year, and who doesn't want another opinion of how her book should be ranked? like people need more of that, you know. But overall it was fine. I enjoyed it. It was one of those like easier contemporary romance reads for me. I didn't hate it. Didn't over the top love it. It was just fine. It was just fine. But you know what? Oh, the last 2 books I read this last month, tops. I'm surprised I actually didn't give them 5 stars. Like I gave them both 4.75. I don't know what it takes for me to give a 5-star. I think I'm really just a little too stingy with my stars. But I read Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I've been reading so many of her books since last October. It's her newest release, and I was crying by page 74. Crazy. Wild. Should that be happening? I don't know. Am I already too invested? I absolutely loved it though. We're following Joan. She becomes an astronaut and we get to just watch her navigate through building friendships with these other astronauts and her family dynamic with her sister and her niece and her love, like her love life. But we're like going back and forth. It's dual timeline. So we have like the present, there's a big issue happening in space and she's on the ground being like the communicator. What are they called? They're like the comms person basically. So she's there, she's on Earth talking to her like besties. Like she's been living with and loving these people for years. Like they went through like the same cohort and now they're in space and they're in danger and she has to be a part of trying to get them back safely to Earth and doing the communication between the two. Oh my gosh, heartbreaking, devastating. Oh my gosh, there's more bugs on me. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So good. Would definitely recommend. I don't know if I would start there for a Taylor Jenkins Reid book if I was going to start, but yeah, I love her books. I just love her style of writing. Oh good, the sun's come out. I don't think I brought any sunscreen. But the book that I had been anticipating the most, like I've been looking forward to this book since last, I don't know, November, December, so like almost a year, was The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. She wrote One Dark Window, Two Twisted Crowns. I read that duology last year, loved it. Excuse me. I've been looking forward to this book since I put those two down. I loved it. It took me a little minute to get into the writing style of it and like the time period based and like the conversation. It's just very eloquent. It's just very pretty and it just took a little, but it did take me a little bit to like get into the world of it all. But gosh, gorgeous. Loved it. Loved it. We've got like a magic system, which she builds beautiful magic systems. So you've got these young women, they live in this beautiful cathedral. People come from all around for them to divine for them. So divinate. They're called diviners, that's what it is. So they have to like they have to drown and then they can see if like their gods approve of these people, or they have to try to interpret the symbols of each of their gods and if that person who's coming to them and like asking for their help or their advice and stuff. So they tell them like, yes, you're on the right path. The gods are in your favor. No, the gods are not in your favor, blah, blah, blah. But these women, they're like they're called foundlings. Like they find them as children. They're just wandering around like no home, or they're super sick. They get brought to the abbey. That's what it is. They get brought to the abbey and then they serve 10 years of divining. And they have to wear these shrouds over their eyes, but they're promised that at the end of their 10 years, they can go and join the world, but there's never been a diviner found out and about. So we're on this adventure of figuring out what happens to diviners once their time is up. And it's just gorgeous. I loved it. If I had to choose, if you're going to make me choose my book of the month, which like at the end of the year, I'm going to be doing like a full-on bracket, like full March Madness bracket of all the books I've read this year and pick the book of the year. That way, if I had to pick the book of the month for August, God, it's going to be so hard, but something between either Atmosphere or Night and the Moth. And I think I would just have to give it to The Night and the Moth. Honestly, I did so much crying in Atmosphere, like from start to finish. But there was something so intriguing about The Night and the Moth that made me really have to focus and like pay attention to what I was reading, that it just hits for me. But both of those authors, well, them and Emily Henry, honestly, Emily Henry, Taylor Jenkins Reid, Rachel Gillig, if they're writing something, I'm reading it. I appreciate their writing so much. Anyway, I've been talking so much. Tell me everything. What have you been up to? What are you reading? Let me know.